Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures continued, issue number 12 from IDW. I'm so glad to see this issue because for some reason I had it in my head that this series was done. That the last issue was going to be with Shredder and the portal slicing sword, and that the April special was just that, a special, and that the series was completed. I don't know why, but it's not. In fact, for sure, we're at least going to get 3 more issues. Hopefully we get more than 3, but I say we're going to get at least 3 because this is part 1 of a 3-issue arc. And this arc deals with Mr. Oog, or Og, however you want to say it. So we start off with the recap from April, or I should say April Ogneil. And basically, back in issue number 8, Og showed up and took the Turtles to court for breaking the fourth wall. And I'm not going to go over that entire issue. If you guys want to see what happens, you can just go watch my video review on it. But basically, they were able to use a technicality to win their case, and Og sent them back to their dimension. And so we start off with Og, where he's flipping through the channel on TV, and he just gets pissed off and he smashes the TV and basically complains about how there's nothing good on anymore. Everything is either a remake, a sequel, or an adaptation. And I'm like, yeah, dude, I feel you. For anyone who doesn't know, I said this in other videos, but maybe this is the first video of my channel you're ever watching. I work in Hollywood. I'm a screenwriter. That's what my actual job is. The YouTube is just something I do as a hobby. My actual job is writing movie scripts. And yeah, someone who writes movie scripts, I am absolutely done with the way Hollywood is nowadays, where everything is basically a remake, a sequel, or an adaptation. It sucks because someone like me, I can't just write scripts based off of a remake or a sequel or an adaptation unless I own the rights to that property. So, I mean, I can always go and buy the rights to then do an adaptation for it or to do a remake or whatever. Obviously, that costs money. And also for things like remakes and sequels, studios own that. Adaptations would be like the only avenue I can go. But again, that costs money. So for people like me who wants to write original scripts, you basically got to go to streaming platforms or straight to DVDs. So in cases like that, you pretty much have to go to independents, which means that you're going to get a smaller budget. So not only are you not going to be able to see your vision to its full potential if the budget is too big, but you're also not going to be getting paid as much because you're working with smaller studios. And yeah, it sucks. It's a shame that studios nowadays are not really willing to take chances on original stuff. There are the rare exceptions, but for the most part, yeah, everything has got to be either a remake, a sequel, or an adaptation. Kind of a shame. But that's neither here nor there. Anyways, Mr. Og is basically talking about how he's sick and tired of that. He needs something else to entertain himself with. And so he decides to get his revenge on the Turtles. And we do have a little cool moment where we see him talking about the OG Turtles, the Mirage comics version of Turtles. I was like, all right, that's kind of awesome, especially since I'm currently, I guess, a little sneak preview for what you guys can expect to see in the future. And by future, I mean, I still got a long ways to go, but I'm currently reviewing every single issue of Turtles Volume 4, the original OG Volume 4. So, yeah, expect to see that sometime in the future. But, yeah, it's nice to see the OG Turtles. They will make an appearance again. I probably won't go into detail on that because that's kind of near the end, and I don't want to spoil everything. Eventually, he decides, all right, let's just try to figure out how to go after the Turtles. What can I do this time? And that's when we cut to the Turtles, who are fighting a humanoid goat mutant, and his name is Billy Boom. And he basically has like this contraption on his arm that I'm assuming sends out like sonic waves, and the Turtles eventually slash it and damage it, but Billy Boom knows how to fight. So he just starts beating the hell out of them with his fist and his feet. Until eventually Donnie throws a shuriken and it impales the damaged wrist thing and electrocutes him, and they win. That's when this boy shows up and he's like, oh boy, it's the Turtles. Can I have your autographs? And the Turtles are like, sure, dude. So they start signing his little book. And of course, it turns out that this isn't a little boy, it's Mr. Og. and that the book that they were autographing was actually a contract. And the contract is that the turtles have to follow Mr. Ogg's rules in the sense that he's going to teleport them to Dimension Z, and he's going to put them through a test. And they have to win 2 out of 3 times. And if they don't, then Ogg wins, and he's going to do something terrible to them. And if they win, then Ogg will get rid of his powers. And so, yeah, the very first test is them having to fight a dragon, but the dragon is invulnerable. So basically, Mr. Ogg is kind of using every trick that he can to kind of be a little underhanded and try to put the turtles in a situation where they can't win. And so the turtles now have to kind of think outside the box when it comes to how are they going to win these little games. And so in the first issue, we get the first game. Second issue, we're going to get the second game. And I guess the third issue, we're going to get the third game. I believe that's how this is going to go. So I'm not going to spoil anything more because I want you to check it out for yourself. I will say that I'm very interested to see where the second game goes because let's just say that it deals with a lot of crossovers. And I'm just going to leave it at that. But yeah, I'm so happy to see the series like still going. I was really kind of bummed out when I thought it was going to be done, but no, it's actually still ongoing. Hopefully it continues to go past this arc. As for the arc itself, I'm not really sure how I feel about it. I've never really been the biggest fan of Mr. Ogg. He reminds me of Q from Star Trek, and I never really cared for Q. And I feel like this storyline, we've already kind of done it with Eddie. Eddie's was just a one issue thing, but Eddie had the whole like, hey, here's a game. You have until midnight to beat my game. Try to beat my game. And so the turtles have to like kind of like think outside the box to come up with ways to beat the game. And I feel like that's basically what this is. Only instead of you have until midnight, it's I'm going to put you through 3 rounds and you just have to win 2 out of 3. Yeah, Mr. Ogg is, of course, using his little tricks to be a little bit underhanded with some of these things. And the turtles have to think outside the box to win their rounds. But again, it's just the whole putting the turtles in a game of some kind, forcing the turtles to think outside the box to win. We kind of already did that with Eddie, so I feel like we're just kind of trending on familiar ground. And I mean, we did just see Mr. Ogg back in issue 8. So there are other villains that we could have done with the turtles that we've seen in the Saturday morning cartoons that we haven't seen here yet. So yeah, I guess I'm a little bit bummed out about that. But overall, this was fine. I liked it. Artwork, again, pretty good. It looks very familiar to the artwork that we see in the original cartoons. Very much the same type of humor. And yeah, it just kind of get a little bit of nostalgic vibes when I'm reading this. It just reminds me of back when I was a kid watching this cartoon show every Saturday morning. So I do enjoy this series overall. I did enjoy this issue. I just kind of wish that we had something new. I feel like, again, we've already seen Mr. Ogg and we've already seen a similar storyline to this. But maybe things will be a little bit different. Especially, I mean, I will say issue number 2. Very much looking forward to that. So I'll be covering that when that comes out. But yeah, I'm kind of rambling at this point. There you go. There's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures Continued, issue number 12 from IDW. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.